When there was the COVID pandemic, a lot of states developed apps that you can put on your phone that help you notify folks if you've been infected with COVID-19. And these apps, they actually track where you are.
I flipped through the screens and was like, oh, well, they didn't download it on mine.
In all the states that we've looked at, participation has been voluntary. What Massachusetts did, instead of asking its citizens whether they want this app on their Android devices, it just worked with Google to automatically distribute the app onto the devices of over 1 million citizens of Massachusetts.
There's no icon for it. But then I was told, well, no, you have to go to settings and click this and click another thing.
They made it hard to find on your phone because it doesn't show up on the home screen with every other app you have. And you have thousands and thousands of people who don't know this is on their phone.
I was astonished and appalled to think that the government could put an app on my phone without my knowledge, and especially one that invaded my privacy so deeply by tracking my movements 24/7.
We don't know what they're doing with this information right now, and that's partly why we filed a lawsuit. NCLA filed a case against Margaret Crook, who's the commissioner of the Massachusetts Department of Health, challenging the Massachusetts policy of automatically downloading this unwanted app onto people's phones.
This sets a very dangerous precedent. Any little thing can become an emergency, and the next thing you know, the government claims that it has the right to put a tracking device on your phone. Who knows what's next?
Robert lives in New Jersey and works in Massachusetts. He commutes back and forth. So we think, because he was in Massachusetts for some periods of time, the app was downloaded on his phone.
I scrolled down through and I'm like, what is this thing? And I clicked on it, and it turned out that it was the Massachusetts COVID tracking app on my phone.
The Supreme Court has said that any sort of interference onto your personal property to gather information about you, even a small amount of information, amounts to a Fourth Amendment invasion of privacy that generally has to be supported by a warrant. And here, your phones are definitely your property, and the government is interfering with your phones by interfering with your property rights and putting an unwanted app on there. We're asking the court to require the agency to remove this app from the phones of millions of citizens where it's already downloaded.
I hope that we succeed, and that this sets a precedent, and that in the future no government even considers tracking Americans' movements 24/7 without their knowledge or consent.